It's an incredible legacy. I mean, it started out just a few people called by God to try to make a difference, and the number of people all across the world that have been touched.
Every pump that we do, we get a chance to share, that we come to share clean water in the name of Jesus.
For 40 days, I walked around with these jerry cans that weigh 40 pounds each to raise awareness for the need for clean water in the world, and also to share my faith with people as I came across them.
I'm a volunteer, but I just like what they do. I like their passion for helping people with water wells, and it just helps alleviate poverty. I just like the idea of making a difference, and they're making a difference.
The gala was the most successful I've ever seen. There is an energy and excitement. People get inspired, they get invested in the mission of living water, and that in turn generates ongoing support and encouragement, and it's what's made Living Water grow so tremendously over these 20 years.
I'm saying it's good to look back. It's good for us to just give God credit and glory and to thank Him with full, grateful hearts. If you got big dreams, if you've got big burdens, if you think God is up to something and about to do something extraordinary through this organization as it partners with the local church, let me just say one more time, you're not crazy.
There's nothing greater than to see a lady or a child who've been sick or dying because they didn't have clean water to be well again because they have clean water.
Well, we began 20 years ago in Kenya.
Over time, God has blessed them to the point where
it's approaching 10 million now that have been touched by the ministry, and the lives that are saved are just breathtaking.
We had our first trip in 2001. Next year, we doubled our program. We had 2 trips. This year, 1,000 people will fall in love with the thirsty on 120 Living Water mission trips. Can you imagine what will happen when those people come back and they tell the story of the thirsty in a personal way to 20 friends? But it all started with this little LS100 grow rig. For us, this is our humble manger.
Partnering the water with the gospel is just like nothing you've ever seen.
It brings people together just as people get together in churches or in political rallies or whatever. It brings together people of similar concern, and together they realize that they can do vastly more than they could singly.
Your heart has to be called to be part of Living Water. I think that's why people that join Living Water as donors and partners and volunteers stay with us for so long.
It's hard not to fall in love with this organization. I mean, it proved itself again this evening. It just provided the story, provided the history. Just a great organization.
I think what really drove it home was to see all of the original people who were on that trip and how they're still continually being part of it and going on these trips and trying to tell the story of the thirsty and to tell others about how they can get involved in it.
I challenge each of you to seriously reflect on why it is that God has you here. You have a talent, you can take a trip, you can invite a neighbor, you can say a prayer, and you can write a check. I'm living proof that if you answer His call, you will never be able to count the blessings you receive in return.